if somebody's like me or, a customer's kind of, right now there's a million RFPs out, right? For I need hosting providers who can provide it. Everybody's looking for costs and capacity. Um, if I'm evaluating providers, you're one of them. What should we be asking that most people don't think to ask?
I suppose one of the things that I've run into relatively frequently is, what's the timeline that I need in order to stand myself up. So, because we have customers that will come to us and they'll say they want it tomorrow, and in many cases we can actually deliver tomorrow, but in some cases it depends on the complexity. It's like, okay, for this to be realistic, we should sit down and walk through how we get as close to tomorrow as possible. It might be the day after or something like that. And then we also have the opposite where they'll come to us, in December saying that they want to go live in June. And it's like, okay, no problem. But they want to go ahead and start deploying everything. And, that's one of the challenges. They want to stand up the service a little prematurely, and so we have to kind of figure out ways to be creative with them there. So it's asking the question of, when do I really need this, and and how do you want us to engage with you? Do you want us to, provide management of your infrastructure, or do you just want us to deploy it for you and then turn it over? Um, I can tell you that I actually had an order come in from a customer probably about 6 months ago. you know they they thought that by, I think, just signing up, that they sort of didn't have to do anything. And it was like, well, I understand. And we actually ended up finding a reasonable solution for them, but it was an uncomfortable few conversations because I was trying to make sure that they didn't feel this sense of, I don't know what I'm doing, but also, make sure that we weren't overstepping our bounds, because there's a lot of environments that we serve that are very security and compliance focused, and we want to make sure that they're adhering to that. And sometimes we even have to tell them, this is, the thing you're doing has more compliance around it than you may realize. And so, so it's things like that, just knowing kind of what they're trying to get into, knowing timing, and and then just, being transparent if they don't know, so that we can help get them on the right track.
Well, Chris, fascinating conversation. It's a Marty's got to be proud to have you on the team and to have this transformation kind of ongoing. It sounds like, which is really amazing. Everybody's kind of, continuous improvement.